Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Nobody. Jason. It's my name. Wear it out if you feel like it. I think all the nonsense that y'all have been putting up with, while super fun, has probably been at least a little bit exhausting. Well, I, for one, I'm tired of being exhausting. I feel like what I need, nay, what we all need, is a bit of that old world charm. We need to hear a bit of that magic, the butterflies you get when you hear me make fun of Chris, and then Chris sits there unsure if I'm actually joking, only half joking, or being a straight-up dick. Here's a hint. It's actually how I flirt. Shh, don't tell Chris. I'm so shy. So I would call this episode of our stupid show for dummies a true return to form. Chris brings an amazingly interesting topic, and I do my damnedest to stop him from telling that story with my ridiculous capacity for nonsense. We hope this episode brings you back like mom's apple pie, irreversibly scalding your ear holes with his painful lava-like sugar paste. Take it away, you jerk-ass Chris.
Close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see yourself that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is thriller.
Hey.
It's moderately sized Chris. What's up there, buddy, Chris?
The sky, these nuts,
Oh, God.
same old shit.
Yeah, you can't use that every time, though. There's got to be... Anyway.
I don't think I've ever said that on the show.
You did, I think, for the Project Blue Beam. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you did or not. I don't care.
Blue Beam was a fun one.
That was a really fun one. Yeah, and I was thinking, but then I remembered that I had done that episode. I was like, oh, this is going to be like our first proper fucking episode of the year. It just feels that way because we haven't had one in such a while.
Yeah, we're really gonna cut back on the slackery here.
Oh, we are on our way to a return of normalcy around here, because if I don't get a little bit of that, at least just every once in a while, I will go fucking crazy.
Indeed.
And I've been going fucking crazy, and that's why it's been so abnormal lately. But that doesn't mean that we didn't have fun with it.
Well, I did.
I had a great time. And really, isn't that all that matters? I mean,
that is what matters.
Isn't that why we do this, Chris, is to make each other laugh and smile?
Yeah. As well as just a release of all that nutty bar up there.
Indeed. You know what though is I kind of do it for hoping just that someone that I don't know emails me one day. Just anyone, really. It doesn't matter who it is, and I don't care what they say to me. I just to be thought about, and just to be wanted to be talked to, and not by you, because this is getting old, Chris, frankly. And let me take a dramatic sip of my coffee, and then I'll finish my sentence. Hold on.
You do that.
Oh fuck, man, that was dramatic as fuck. And I forgot what I was saying. So
rather liquidy sounding. You can look forward to the emails. I'm looking strangely forward to when people ever want to know what we actually look like, if we actually look anything like these fucking things. But then again, now I'm just burst in my own bubble because fucking Facebook. Never mind.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
We're very publicly on Facebook.
Fuck you guys.
And really, I think it's time for a new. I think it might be time for a new logo, because neither of us look exactly like that anymore. You chopped off half your little your rat tail, your front rat tail, your chin tail, your rat and tail. That's what I'm going to call it.
It needed to be trimmed.
And I have thoroughly shaved my head, so no more mohawk. So, you know, I think it's about time. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it personally. You know, I hear other shows all the time, hey, people that listen, do this for us. And then they're like, oh, we got all these awesome things. And it's like, I don't even want to ask for it, because I guess fuck us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That email address, by the way, is see no hear no speak no pod at gmail.com. The joke is getting old, people. It's getting old. The joke has run its course, and now we're just getting depressed.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can dig up a good picture of you and see if I can capture your likeness. I've been drawing myself in anime style for fucking, Jesus, like 20 plus years.
That is, it's somewhat disconcerting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm usually that fucking fang-toothed villain, too.
It's,
you know the one with that big tooth maniacal smile and it looks like he's got fangs in the back?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. It's very narcissistic. It is, just the sentence, I have been drawing myself, like, period, right there. It's a red flag. It's not, like, the biggest red flag I've ever seen, but,
well, I don't know what anybody else looks like better than myself, so...
Yeah, I guess. I mean... Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of See No, Hear No, Speak No.
UFOs, conspiracies, vanity, and murder.
Yeah, if there's one thing they'll get here, it's fucking vanity.
You know, we all got to be good at something. You'll hear me say that a lot. I'm not good at a lot, but when I do say that, it's usually something fucked up.
I have never met two more insecure people that were so goddamn vain about themselves.
Right? It's a conundrum.
It's so weird. We hate ourselves so much because we know us, but we love ourselves so much because we know us.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's a strange feeling, and it keeps me awake most nights, but, you know, you gotta shove that shit deep inside and then just deal with it and then just go on with life, you know? You just gotta show people, show people a little bit of both sides. That way, you know, the whole psychopath thing doesn't pop up too much.
Listen, I wake up and put my banana hammock on one nut at a time, just like everybody else.
You should fucking see a doctor. Jesus Christ, one nut at a time.
Well,
good Lord, the visual didn't need to be there. It's there though.
Let's get it.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, bub.
Oh my goodness! I hope I have a good answer. Let's go.
I would hope so as well. Actually, what's today's episode about?
Oh man. Today's
I'm trying,
episode,
especially today, to get to the topic a little earlier than an hour into the show.
Right? Yeah.
Oh wait! Sorry.
Before.
One more thing real quick. I was an idiot on our Patreon episode daily. The prices were fucking completely wrong. It's $1, it's $5, and it's $10. Those are the three tiers. So, yeah, I don't know where those other things came from. I was super distracted that day. So, but
it
those
was
are
a
it.
Weird couple weeks.
I was so stupid. I hated it.
There was a lot of things going on.
January and the very beginning of February, blue asshole. Oh yeah, Chris, you're just gonna fucking just skip past the part where today's the day after my birthday, and we're just not gonna acknowledge that whatsoever.
Oh, see, people, there's that vanity thing again. Happy birthday, Jason.
No, that was the insecure Jason. That was the please just notice me for a second, please, just 1 second.
Well, I
But
noticed
thank
you yesterday. Now you're telling everybody else to notice you.
So what the fuck, man? I can't do that every once in a while.
No, it was the insecurity that you needed me to tell you, and I told you yesterday.
Yeah,
but
I guess
it's the vanity that needs everybody else to tell you. Which is fine.
A great birthday present would be, Chris? Okay, that was rhetorical. You don't actually have to think about it out loud. A great birthday present would be to know what this episode's about.
Oh, Oh, that's totally different. I was thinking something more.
Yeah,
okay.
no, we heard you, and we're gonna skip over it. We're gonna just go to the episode topic.
Okay. So
Uncomfortable.
This episode is gonna be a fun one, kids. This actually blew up. This supposedly happened in 2006, and it came across Facebook like crazy and just blew up in a few different media outlets. And since then has died down because people they get their quick little gape mouth. Oh my goodness! Then they read the article real quick, or maybe just a piece of it. But when it makes them switch to a different page, they're like, "Fuck it," and go on to something else.
I do that for sure. Yeah.
Right. Well, we all do. We're all assholes. So,
attention span. That's our generation, buddy. No attention span. We're fucking goldfish sitting here. It's crazy.
Pretty much. So, but no, this is a fucking rabbit hole and a half. And at the end of this, I will I'll tell you what Snopes thinks about this.
Oh, because we should all care what Snopes thinks about things.
Well, a lot of people do, and I've also heard negatively about that site as well, being fucking ridiculousness. But
I didn't know it was a website. I have no idea what Snopes is. I thought it was maybe some dude you knew.
No. Snopes is a website that basically, if you want to know if something's true or not, you fucking search it in Snopes.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what they do.
So they're the authority.
Then. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know, because it could have gotten really awkward if I was talking to somebody else and I was like, this other website's totally the authority. But now I know, Chris.
No, but I mean,
Snopes.
Like I said, I've also heard, negative things about it as well, so.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
so,
that'll be at the end, though.
Okay, you've given us the backlash and the aftermath of the story coming out in social media. We have yet to hear what it is.
Are you going to give me a sec?
No, I am impatient Jason tonight.
All right. Well, then, this episode is
Tonight's my time to be a dick, Chris.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Now you see how it feels, right?
Don't make me come over there.
Oh, man. If only. We could do that whole sleeping naked together thing.
Negative.
Oh.
This episode is on the Maryland Cryptid Collection.
Ooh, okay. Now break that down for people that don't know what any of those words mean. Not like me. I mean, I know what they all mean, but let's just say that there's somebody out there that doesn't know what a cryptid? What that is. Yeah, that thing. That's what I said. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So, do you want, what do you need the definition of a cryptid?
Why don't you just be like, it's a goddamn house where they found a bunch of crazy shit, like blah blah blahs,
Well, then don't ask me to break down what the fuck that means. What the hell?
Why can't you just simply do something instead of being all like, well, does he want the definition?
You're telling me to do something, but then you're telling me don't do that.
Well, you shouldn't just listen to me telling you to do something and then
do it. Then how about you shut it?
That is just how...
And let me do my thing.
That is how followers are made, Chris.
Alright, because you're cruising for a bruising right now.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, let's just calm it down. Let's just take it down.
Fucking tell me what...
Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Shoot.
Breathe. Think happy thoughts. Alright. Okay. So, a cryptid is a weird little creature that's not supposed to exist. A collection, as we all know, is a gathering of stuff. And Marilyn refers to a person by the name of Thomas Theodore Marilyn. Thomas Theodore Marilyn. So his birth to death, cradle to the grave, womb to the tomb numbers are 1782 to 1942. Now that is number one. Go ahead, you can do the math if you want to.
Wait, 80 what now?
1782
1782 to 1940. What?
to 1942.
Okay, nope. Wait, so he was 140 whatever years old?
Yes.
Screw you.
All right.
Bring that shit to my house.
So that's line one. All right. Just keep that. It's just, it is what it is. All right. So he was born and grew up in Helenshire, northern England. Son of a rich artist and biologist, fringe naturalist, that sort of thing. Lord Edward Maryland. Mm-hmm. Which we will get into a bit later.
Wait, Lord Edward Maryland of the Marylands?
No. Maryland. Merrillyn.
Oh, my mistake. Go ahead.
Yes.
Continue.
So his mom died at birth. Died at his birth while giving birth to him.
That would be really weird if she had died at birth.
Yeah.
Oh, your foibles. I love them.
Which actually it wasn't giving birth to him, it was giving birth to his younger sister, Emily, which we will also mention a little later.
Okay.
His dad raised him, and from then on, him and his sister, and died at the ripe old age at 76, which are,
from
again,
back then, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah. We'll also get into that.
That's like living to be 6,000 years old today.
Yeah, pretty much. So, good old TT, Tom Theo here, he wound up kind of following in his dad's footsteps. He never actually, because he was he was your quintessential born into money rich kid.
Right. I was about to say, after he never actually, I was going to say, worked a day in his life?
Yeah, he didn't need to do anything. But he was very smart. And he had the money to just learn whatever the hell he wanted to and do whatever the shit he wanted to. So he wound up doing the whole, or just studying the fringe naturalist scenario like his dad. Wound up getting real into cryptozoology, which cryptid,
So he was basically
weird little creatures.
He was basically a precursor to those guys on Bigfoot Hunter.
Yeah. Same sort of scenario, exactly.
But with money, so people probably listened a little bit better. Right.
The studying of creatures that are not supposed to exist in so many words. That's not the exact definition, but anyway.
No, man, that was sweet. I liked it.
So he was kind of an introvert, but that's because he didn't have to talk to people. He didn't have to go to work. He didn't have to do shit. He just kind of sat around and did whatever he wanted, read books, did whatever. Wound up
Nerd.
because of... Yeah. Well, shit, I would be too if no, I probably wouldn't. I can't read a book to save my life. We just had that conversation.
Chris can't read, y'all. It's sad.
So thanks to the whole cryptozoology angle, he winds up like really pursuing that and traveling the world to collect and catalog species that have not yet been done so.
But correct me if I'm wrong, most of the people that we talk about that decide to go around the world to catalog things, it doesn't end well for them usually. They'll get some kind of thing that eats the inside of their face, or they'll just get nasty. Lost in a rubber tree forest forever, or I know that was the same episode, but it was different guys. It just seems to me like I don't know, maybe this ill-prepared rich kid, globetrotting for his love of screwy animal, it shouldn't end well. And I'll be disappointed if it does end well, which it almost seems like you're setting it up to end well since he lives to be 106,000.
He doesn't, from what we know, he doesn't die horribly.
Okay, so not horribly, but he does die, though, right?
You got to assume he does. We don't know. He just disappears.
Oh,
nobody's seen him. Nobody's seen him since.
Or was he ever real to begin with?
Well, we don't even know that. Let's move on.
I bet you he would be if we just clapped our hands and believed.
I mean, think happy thoughts. Like I said, hey, there's a picture online on the website. You got to look
some
at the
random old guy from the 1700s that we're gonna say is him anyway.
you know,
I'm
it
so
could
cynical.
be.
I'm sorry. Okay, so continue. So he wants to go on this worldwide whirlwind tour of crazy shit, so he can be awesome and find stuff that no one ever else has seen, and he wants to just rub up so hard on the Loch Ness Monster he just can't contain it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's pretty good recap. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what he does. That's what he does. He travels the world to be a collector of new species, collector and cataloger of new species. But he doesn't just stop at his knowledge or his interests. Don't just stop at animals and cryptozoology.
Why would they, Chris?
What?
I said, why would they?
Exactly. Why the hell would they?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a cool guy.
Are you about to tell me that he collected human beings?
No.
Okay, so he wasn't like, oh, it's a pygmy. You're coming home with me, little fella.
He probably would have, actually.
I mean, because it makes me smile to think about.
He wouldn't have killed it himself to collect it, but if he found a dead one, he probably would have scooped it up.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that he would have. So, yeah. Okay.
For
Let's
sure.
continue. Sorry.
Are you?
No, not at all. Not one bit.
Alright, then shush it. But he was into physics and fucking space and goddamn, all kinds of shit. Quantum physics, all kinds of shit. He had ideas and theories on shit that hadn't even been considered yet in those fields. He was, during his travels, he wound up coming in contact with and befriending several prominent scientists in those types of fields as well. Mm-hmm. So, cross-referencing shit, bouncing ideas off of and all that. And right. They actually were, not only surprised, to say the least, at his knowledge for these subjects when he had no degree in them, had never studied them formally, but he was just a cool, smart guy.
So he was a smart talker, and they were like, "Wow, that smart talker, he's talking real smart."
Oh, well, not just that. Apparently, they were also consulted on his finds. These people were his friends, or they became his friends. So they were there to see some of the specimens in the collection.
Are you supposed to be saying allegedly before all of this, or is this true?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Go. Sorry.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I wasn't there.
Well, we weren't there for any of the things we talk about, Chris, except for the one that I talked about last week.
All right. So anyway,
am I being mean? I'm really not trying to be mean, but it does make me feel good. Just like I said before, you're like the fat ugly girl that I go out with as a friend, so that way people dig me more. That's not a bad thing. We're still real good friends. I still love you to death, but you know what I love more than just you in general is how much of a goofus you are, and how easily that big red button on your forehead is to push.
I'm gonna tattoo my name on your hand so you'll know it's meant for you when I see you.
The fuck does that even mean? Oh, but you're gonna tattoo your name on my hands?
That's not what I said at all.
Pretty sure that's what you said.
Those words are what I said. But
continue, please.
But when you say it, it means the exact opposite of what it meant when I said it.
I've got no retort for that.
Let me continue, or this episode is going to be long as hell.
It's already going to be long as hell.
Then cut it out.
Yes, sir.
I haven't even scratched the fucking surface yet.
Start scratching.
I haven't even begun this story.
You can ignore me, right? Like, you don't
I can't ignore you. You keep cutting me off, you turd burglar.
You don't have to acknowledge me. I can say things and not have someone say anything back to me. I will get louder and more forceful with what I'm saying, though, so it's probably good that you do.
It's fucking useless.
Sorry, go. I'm sorry. I'm stopping now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, now you have to wait till I finish my drink.
Oh, son of a bitch. I was just about to do the same thing.
You brought this on yourself.
I know what I did. I did it. Remember? Ugh.
I do.
Man, it was a beautiful day yesterday. Like, it was a shitty day, but it was a beautiful day outside yesterday out here.
Oh my God.
It was nice. It was good weather.
Shut.
You didn't need a jacket.
Fuck.
Are you done with your drink? I'm just trying to not have dead air.
How can I be drinking and talking at the same time? It was just a sip. Shut up. God damn it. I'm going to send the Ninja Kitty over there, and she is going to rough you up.
I think the hostilities are a little uncalled for, but whatever. Okay, so this dude is talking to super fucking smart people, and they're all like, whoa, this dude is super fucking smart. And he's like, hey, you guys want to see some crazy fucking animal bones I found and stuff? And they're like, what? Of course we do. And then they all get together, and they're all high-fiving each other. It's fucking awesome.
You're absolutely right. That is the perfect recap.
I've been listening.
Well, that's good to know, because you certainly haven't been... Anyway, so yeah, that's exactly what happened. So they were all cool about that, and they encouraged him to go on tour with his collection to show the world his awesome collection of kick-assness.
Indeed, he's going on world tour. Who's the opening act?
Oh man, well, we can, man.
Okay, I'm sorry I asked that question. Let's just go on.
All right, so
it's Darwin and his Galapagos tortoises,
there.
and his death-defying Galapagos tortoise.
We're gonna pause it. We're gonna pause that portion of the story right there. We're not gonna talk about what he went on tour with just yet. What we're gonna say, we're gonna skip on to. At a certain point, he just kind of disappeared. Now, as far as him being super old, he was reported to have looked like he was 40 when he was 80. And such
you sure he wasn't just 40 and telling people he was 80? Because he was a goddamn dirty liar?
I'm pretty sure these are people that had known him for quite a while.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, then excuse the shit out of me, Chris.
You have to assume that these are people that know how old he's supposed to be.
I mean,
so
I don't have to do anything, but I guess I will.
You should. You totally should, because otherwise you're just asking questions that now I have to answer and waste more time when you should have just fucking known better in the first goddamn place.
Well, you know, Chris, that's the whole thing about me not knowing what the hell you're talking about, is I gotta ask questions. I have to clarify for my own clarity, and I'm done and go.
You know what the whole thing is about listening to me actually say it? Is that you'll fucking get it when I'm done.
So I'm just supposed to sit here silently twiddling my fucking thumbs while you prattle on about some 80-year-old, 40-year-old.
No, not at all. Not at all. But you can't stop me every sentence. You cannot do it.
Don't be so stoppable every sentence.
Shut it, and I will continue as
I said I was done.
Along.
You keep egging me on.
If it's something serious, you can stop me. There will be plenty of times that you will need to stop me for something ridiculous or serious, okay? Just don't do it every sentence. Let's go.
Please.
So, he winds up disappearing. Now, there were several fucking accounts, or several, not reports, direct, like, actual on-file reports, but there were several happenings, or people talking about how young he looked all the fucking time, knowing he was older than dinosaur shit, alright? So you got me all worked up. Now I gotta calm down and tell a good story. So
if you're angry at 80-year-olds for being old, that's your business. I'm not
angry.
I'm not touching it.
Listen. So, he disappeared for a while. He was presumed dead. Until in 1942, a man pops up. And he claims to be the son of Lord Edward Maryland. Well, Lord Edward Maryland only had one son and one daughter, so...
And he had died forever ago, right?
Lord Edward Maryland?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he died. Yeah. So, this man popped up, never saying directly that he was Thomas Theodore Maryland, just that he was the son of Lord Edward Maryland. What he did was that he donated an entire building to a London orphanage under the strict one stipulation
No orphans.
that they never opened the basement.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So,
Gotcha.
thankful as all hell, that's what actually wound up happening. They took over the building, the man disappeared, which is why it says that he probably died in 1942. We don't fucking know. He disappeared. And the building was used as an orphanage all the way up until 2006, when it was a scheduled, planned demolition of the building, and they cracked open the basement.
Ooh, but he said never. I mean, he said
did
that.
say never. But, I mean, when the city takes it back from you because it's old and it's fucked up and falling apart, then, there's nothing you can do. They cracked it open.
A handshake is a handshake. That's bullshit. Go ahead.
Well, so, upon cracking open the basement, they found all kinds of cool stuff. It's kind of just for storage. There's a bunch of crates and stuff. And
yeah, like one of the guys that was tearing it down used to be an orphan there. He's like, oh, my Frisbee, cool, and stuff like that.
You would like to think stuff like that, because that would make
Frisbees
the story
are the best.
That much more simple. But this is not that simple.
Oh God, no! This is going to be like the temple, isn't it?
It's going to be way more serious than the temple.
Okay. This is serious mode, Jason. I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm listening.
Just got to get to it. So, there was an extra area that they actually had to break into, where they found the really cool stuff. But either way, there's hundreds of crates full of thousands of specimens and diaries and drawings and fucking papers and just anything and everything that a scientist would have, other than like a chemist with all the fucking crazy beakers set up and all that kind of shit. It wasn't like that.
Right, but like enough for many scientists, it sounds like.
Yeah, enough for many scientists, indeed. This guy's entire life work was right here in hundreds of crates. Now,
I'm picturing like a smaller like warehouse, like Ark of the Covenant warehouse kind of deal.
Yeah. Kind of like the Padmanabhaswamy temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except it wasn't fucking jewels and shit. This was
Scientific research.
Yeah, this was specimens though as well. Thousands of specimens of
in jars.
All manner of creature, whether they were in jars or they were pinned to a board. It was all any kind of way you've ever seen a scientist set up a fucking creature for display. Mm-hmm. He had them.
I bet you that's where Bella Kiss ended up.
Oh, dude. Any
just
fucking...
poetic justice. That's all
dude,
it is.
Any creature you can think of, this guy had it.
Well, then he definitely had a meat Muppet mustache
ones.
man.
Huh?
I said, well, then he definitely had a meat Muppet mustache man.
There was probably one there. There was the head of a Draco Altus.
You say that like I'm supposed to be like, I don't know what that is, though.
Well, that would be the cryptozoology scientific name for a humanoid-type dragon creature.
That was a genuine gasp.
Yeah, he also had the head of a member of the species Homo lupus.
Is that just a kid with lupus?
No.
Is that a gay kid with lupus?
No.
Oh, because that's also an apt description for that.
That's hilarious. Yes.
I know, it's pretty good,
I'm not going to let that go unrecognized.
It's pretty good. Thank you. I liked it. But so what is a Homo lupus?
Well, it's a member of a group of what is called a symbiotic hominid.
Okay.
It's a human, or we think of a human descent. They were originally. See now, you got me. God damn it. It's what all the stories have been formed around to describe what a werewolf really is. But it does not change from regular human into a wolf. It just looks like that all the time.
Oh, so it's a wolf?
It is a wolf human. It is a hominid.
Okay, so it's like it's a bipedal, like man-shaped, wolf-headed thing.
Yes.
Is it like one of those Mexican trapeze artist wolf type things, or does it have like an actual wolf face?
No, it has a wolf face. It may have a big Mexican mustache, though. I mean, some of them. It depends on, what lands they were.
Right. I mean, and really, there's no way to know. So let's just assume.
Well, there is a way to know, actually. It is documented.
I mean, by whom and where?
If you let me.
Well, you stopped to say it.
I fucking didn't even. So, Homo lupus. He has a specimen of Homo lupus. He has a specimen of Homo vampiris and specimens of, not the full specimen of Homo vampiris, but of parts of sorts.
The left shin bone, I get it.
Okay, he's got little tiny, and I will post all the pictures and the links, possibly.
Don't lie.
They're cool
I'm not
pictures.
Gonna do any of that.
They're kick-ass pictures.
I bet they are, but we'll never see any of them.
Sure we will. They're easy to find. Anyway, little tiny human creatures with what look like moth wings, and little tiny human creatures with no wings, but like little crazy sharp teeth and claws and shit, and fucking, I mean, I'm making shit up, but this guy has so much. Now, that little fairy moth looking creature, that's really there. He's really got that. But like I said, basically any of those fairy tale creatures that have been talked about by indigenous humans since communication was a thing, verbal communication was a thing, he had at least one of.
So did
Pretty
he
much
have?
anything you can think of.
Did he have a specimen of the clitoris?
If you don't know, you can't be taught.
I mean, that was a joke. I know where it is, and I'm not gonna brag.
If you don't know, I can draw you a picture.
I'm good.
That's all I can do.
Good.
I can't take you into the field for formal training.
Let's just go on. Every time I start saying stuff like that, I'm like, holy shit, my mom's hearing me say that right now, and it's just I'm blushing so much right now. Fuck.
That's because you're weak.
Yeah, Chris, I know that. Okay?
Yeah, you don't even want to know what my family talks about at dinner.
You're right. I don't. It sounds like something that our good friend Mr. Metheny would be sitting at talking about stuff with. Sucking on that toe necklace.
Big Joe.
Oh, man.
You want a toe? I can get you a toe. By 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish. You don't want to know, dude.
You're right. I don't. Go ahead.
Continuing on.
Please.
Artifacts.
See, now you're getting off, but yeah.
Creature
Artifacts.
specimens. Diaries from other scientists and diaries of his own. Actually, they were mostly his own. He grabbed up a couple other scientists' diaries when they...
Was he just stealing other scientists' diaries to read them?
No, they passed away and fucking donated them to his collection.
I like my version better.
Of course you do, because you're
Who does
fucking
Copernicus like?
I'm going to destroy you.
If you can catch me.
I will destroy you. I swear. If I can't get through this episode, I will destroy you.
I mean, we're gonna get through it.
Dude,
eventually.
If I don't get through this one, you'll never get through any of my other big ones. Because they're all fucking wacky, times super crazy, and they're just... If you can't get through this...
I mean, what can I say, Chris, other than I mean,
I'm banning you from drinking coffee before and during the show, for one.
Oh, well, okay.
You got entirely too much energy right now. You need to simmer down.
Okay.
But I will destroy you.
I mean, I did... But...
Dude, I haven't even turned a page yet.
I'm here. Let's go. Yeah.
There's so much. There's so fucking much. So, when they were found and they started breaking shit open, they've only still just breaking shit open. Supposedly they haven't even finished yet. But you can't find any articles that are like really, really recent. So, either way, this was 2006. It wasn't, it was a long time ago, but still. Anyway, it was dubbed the Maryland Cryptid Collection, as I said previously.
Yes.
Now, the diaries not only talk about his cataloging of all these creatures, but they go into his theories of quantum mechanics and physics and sciences and all kinds of shit that basically challenged things that hadn't been established yet, questions that other mainstream scientists hadn't brought up yet, things like that. Shit, he was just a smart guy, so he thought about shit a lot. And yeah, so along the way, during his touring of his collection, before the we're going to skip back to that now that we know what the collection is.
Mm-hmm.
While he was touring, there was a scuffle, not like a physical altercation, but there was a guy named John Cornwall, and John Cornwall comes out of the woodworks to accuse Marilyn of stealing a vampire mummy from his collection. He was also a collector, and he had a mummy of a little vampire. And
can I just through voice now? Can I recreate this 17th century scuffle real quick? Because I think in my head I have it perfectly. So Marilyn is his carriage is pulled up to whatever homeless shack that he's going to be speaking at that night, and then Cornwall comes up and he sees him off in the distance. He's like, "Driver, over there," and then the driver goes over there, and then Cornwall just sticks his head out the window and goes, "Marilyn," and then Marilyn turns around and goes, "Cornwall," and then that's it. That's the scuffle.
So, like a Farnsworth Wernstrom scenario?
Yeah, only more cordial.
I fucking love that. Wernstrom!
Oh, jeez.
Okay, Good news, everyone!
So what happens with the dealie, what's the dealio with the scuffalo?
I'm thinking about the old gentleman with the mustache, and they're putting their dukes up, and how about you, sir?
Exactly.
That sort of...
Yeah, but then they're both too weak from reading books all the time, and then they just both pass out.
Turns into like a fucking middle school girl slap fight. So, but no physical altercation is on record. It was a fight, a shouting match, I'm sure. It embarrassed the shit out of him, and basically he showed his ass like a little rich kid, and embarrassed the shit out of himself again on his own.
Right.
And just went back into hiding for a while until 1942 when he pops up and donates this building. So, I had to skip forward and then skip back like that because I can't tell you the dude fucking stole or was accused of stealing a vampire mummy if you didn't know that I was going to be talking about vampire mummies, all right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are ways around that, but yeah, you could have been like, this guy said he stole something. We'll find out after this, and then the Honeycombs commercial comes on, and then when it's over, you got that weird ABC Saturday morning cartoon show, like fucking, the little graphic that comes up, it's all 70s, even though it's like the early 90s, and and then you're like, vampire mummy, and everybody claps and just cheers and pats you on the back and just carries you out on their shoulders, and they're like, Chris.
I will destroy you. But I'm thinking more along the lines of the log commercial in Ren and Stimpy, but for vampire mummies. Do you like vampire mummies?
Oh, see, I didn't know we were selling vampire mummies. It'd have been a little bit different.
It's log, see? So, yeah, that's the gist of the story.
I like it. I like it a lot. I really do. I told you I would let you know when we're at an hour, but we're at 45 minutes right now. So if
holy shit,
what is this where the half point was supposed to be? Because we can do 2 shorties as a whole,
dude.
We can do that, Because I'm just getting back into the swing of things. As you can tell, I've been a little distracted tonight.
Oh my god, it's not even close to a halfway point.
Oh, shit.
How many times did I tell you?
Oh, my God. Oh, no. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Alright.
So we found stuff. It sounded like you were at a stopping point. Jesus Christ.
It's a stopping point, because from that point on, I'm going to tell you about the stuff and some people that were involved, and then his sister and dad, and some stuff.
Okay, well, don't spoil it, man. Come on, let's get there fucking organically.
Well, it's just a structure, man. I gotta let you know what all is happening, so you make fucking time for your rants.
I told you, they just happen. I don't mean for them to happen. I don't want them to happen most of the time. I mean, it's a happy accident when you get super upset about them, but I'm sorry. All right. I'll take that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just put it in my pocket here for safekeeping. It's gonna turn into a fucking tumor. For later. I might put some ketchup on it and fucking wrap it in a tortilla later. That's gross. I don't ever put ketchup on tortillas together. That's horrible. I don't know what I was thinking. You see what you do? You see what you do? You said that's gross. I was like, why? Because you thought the same thing I thought, and I just offended all of my Mexican heritage. The next line was going to be, and I'm going to fuck it. Oh, man. I should have said that. We're back. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, there's a lot of crazy little fucking creatures in this collection. There is, what? I said it certainly sounds like it. Can I not make a supporting comment? I can't, because I have the headphone down so low so that it's not interfering with the other microphone. I can't hear you when I'm talking. All I hear is me really loud. Okay. I apologize. So, yeah. Yeah, so anything and everything. And there's tons of information, such as Draco alatus, excuse me, I think I pronounced it wrong last time. Draco alatus is a bipedal dragon person. Right? Dragon person, yeah. Indeed, and that does sound awesome, and I want to see one. But they first, do have wings. They have wings, like biggins or little uns, or. I don't believe they fly with them, but they're like half body size. They're like bat wings or wings that come out of the back, or like do they like come out of the heel like that guy? No, out of the back, like bat wings. Okay, well, you said that like you're disappointed. I mean, that's pretty fucking awesome. That is really awesome. No, I was thinking, I was trying to figure out at the same time I was saying it about feet wings, how that would make any sense. But talk to fucking Greek mythology, bitch.
So these things apparently reside in the mountains of Nepal. There is a mountain range in Nepal, and there's also a tribe, or I say tribe, but it's like a sect of Buddhist monks who they're called the Agni Buddhist monks, and Agni is the Sanskrit word for fire. So they are the fire monks, and they actually kind of, sort of, but not directly exactly worship these Draco creatures. They kind of feed them, and they kind of house them, and they're like, they take care of them and stuff, but they don't, they're Buddhists, so they don't worship anything, but they...
So they're more like the the stewards of these things, not...
Pretty much.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, kind of like how...
pretty fucking rock and roll.
Kind of like the temples in India that just let all the rats run through. It's like that.
That's so cute and gross.
So the Dracos just hang out. Because why search for food if these motherfuckers are going to go out and get it for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, do they eat like humans, or like, are they eating like raw goats, or?
No, it's like a symbiotic thing. They pretty much just scoop up. They'll eat animals. Yes, they are carnivorous for sure, but they don't eat the humans because it's a symbiotic type of relationship.
Well, yeah, you don't bite the hand that feeds you because then you got no hands.
Exactly. No hands means you can't get scratched under the ears or, on your belly or whatever.
Or among other things that feel really good to do with your hands. Never forget.
So, aside from them, there are also Homo aquaticus, the only aquatic hominid on record, supposedly on record. They're small. He has a couple of them in his collection. They're small. From the waist up, they're human, just like you would think a mermaid sort of creature would have the fish tail and stuff. But they have a ridge, like a spiny fish ridge going from the, like, mohawk style, but it goes all the way down their back, and they're just this scary little fucker. Just this creepy little sumbitch.
Yeah, I mean, does it look like the Tahitian mermaid or whatever the fuck it was called? That was, like, does it look like that?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I have an example that.
You don't know the famous? It was like in some famous museum for a long time, and then they were like, "Wait, this is just half of a shaved monkey, like on half of a trout."
Oh, that thing. Yeah, similar to that.
Is it more shaved monkeys on more trout?
No.
Okay.
No. So, but yeah, it's creepy. It looks very similar to the Harry Potter's Goblet of Fire when they go into the lake and those little fucking things. Except those things had octopus or squid tentacles. This thing just has a spiny fish.
I know I saw that movie and I really enjoyed it, but I don't remember any of it. But I'm going to go ahead and just for brevity's sake, I'm going to say I agree.
Never mind, I'm totally wrong. It doesn't look anything like that thing. It's just a creepy little thing with a fishtail. Anyway, I appreciate your standing by your homie, though.
You're welcome.
That's very nice of you. So, yeah, that's just a couple little things. So let's talk for a second about these symbiotic hominids. Symbiotic hominids. So they assume that there was an offshoot of early hominid living alongside Neanderthal and a couple others that we have definitely dug up and do for sure exist. These hominids, they were grouped together at one point and apparently came across some sort of virus that it attached themselves to them on a cellular level, but even further than that, it basically grafted itself to their DNA. So somehow also within this group, they suspect that it has something to do with some sort of genetic marker that it saw within this one group of people versus this other group, that it branched off in two completely different directions, but still completely grafted itself to their DNA, and therefore you get, and it's still the same main type of virus. It's called the hemophage.
Yeah. I mean, I think phage is commonly accepted anyway. But
right.
I mean, I don't know what game or comic or TV show or fucking whatever the fuck I remember it from, but something about a necrophage. Don't know what it meant or was, but I know it wasn't good.
I'm not sure exactly what the suffix phage means. I'd have to look it up. I never did, but
let's say that it means free cake, but only on days that don't end in a Y.
I think it's more has something to do with the type of virus, personally. But we'll go with yours. So either way, hemo obviously means blood. So what this virus does, what the virus does is that it drains your body. It attacks it and drains it of all of its protein and iron.
Okay. So I mean, and this is, I'm guessing, a whole lot more than just like an iron deficiency.
Well, yeah.
Like this is an iron non-existency, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And these things are these little fuckers are inside you at like the cellular DNA size level, correct?
Yes.
So they are basically a part of you. Like, so it's like your body's eating the good stuff out of itself and giving nothing back.
Correct.
Okay. Well, isn't that parasitic and not symbiotic?
Yeah, but I'm getting to that part.
Right.
So yes, that is very, very harmfully parasitic. So you ever seen the stories or heard the stories about the people that eat weird shit, crave to eat weird shit? Do not walk on that, cat. Okay, you got all this other room. You're gonna stand on my fucking notebook like a cat would. Don't do it.
Oh, I miss my cat. Oh.
Don't do it. So. Right, so you've heard those stories. Some people, like, they fucking
like eat charcoal or dryer sheets and shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, they eat soap and fucking cornstarch and shit.
And full bicycles.
Weird shit.
Bicycle.
So this is the same kind of scenario. What it does is, it drains your body so quickly that it causes you to crave those two elements, those two items, those two things.
Oh, so now you're just eating a bunch of irons.
Exactly, and where are you going to get the highest supply of protein and iron?
Blood.
Exactly. So that's why they call it the thirst in the Homo vampiris.
That shit drains... right there. The fact that they call it the thirst gives it it gives it a personality. And it really makes these fucking little cells with no brains that just eat all your iron up sound like a malicious entity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it's the thirst. It's not some deficiency I have where I need to take iron pills or whatever. It's the thirst where I need to bite you open and suck all your blood out.
It never goes away because it's constantly feeding. So you have to constantly feed it. But if you can sufficiently provide it its nutrients, it turns symbiotic in that it gives heightened senses. It gives prolonged lifespan because of the fact that it causes in the Homo vampiris, it causes them to constantly regenerate cells.
Okay.
So they're dying, but they're regenerating just as quickly. So it basically heals everything super fast and prolongs.
So they're Wolverine. Like they're now Wolverine without the claws.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Okay, I dig it.
There you go.
But we have to, if we're going to say all the cool shit, we have to say the shit that would suck too. Like, there's a downside, like, no more, like, beach days. You can't eat your favorite garlic bread anymore?
That's all myth.
I mean, all of this is myth. So don't be a jerk about it. God, I was having a little fun. Shut up.
But only
Go sit
certain
in the
things go
corner
along
again.
with certain stories.
Well, you know what? No, I got nothing. Go ahead.
I do know what. I'm trying to tell you what.
Good luck.
You're making my story sound like Bram Stoker.
No, I'm not. I'm making it sound like every single vampire ever.
Exactly. Yet, that's only Hollywood vampires. There are many, 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 many tales on many, 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 from many cultures and countries.
I know. I've seen Blade. I know this.
That's fucking Marvel.
And?
That's Marvel.
And? That doesn't mean I haven't seen it. What are you trying to disprove the fact I saw Blade by saying that it's Marvel?
No, I'm trying to disprove the fact that it's a fucking cultural tale.
Just pushing that big red button. Just,
Don't make me, I swear. I
feel
swear.
so good.
This is why we're not getting through this. This is why we're already on an hour. More.
Can I not make jokes in our joking podcast for dummy stuff?
You can, but God, every single thing I say, I'm not going to get through this.
You went through at least 2 different homos before I made a joke.
No, not even close. Not even close. There were like 4 or 5 jokes in the Dracos. There's like 4 jokes in the fucking
Well, what
mermaids.
am I supposed to do? You're supposed to sit here and listen to you babble fucking stats about vampires and not say something?
No, like I said, there's plenty of time to say stuff. And you're choosing the right times, but there's a lot of them. And you need to make your thingies shorter. That's all.
Well, this is obviously going to be a 2-parter, and
shorter.
You know what? If it means that I can't make jokes, I don't care if this is a 3-parter because I'm going to make jokes. I'm going to be me. I got to be me.
All right. Well, it'll be a while before you do an episode. Then that's all that is.
Oh, we'll just do one at the same exact time. I'll start mine, you start yours, and we just talk over each other. It'll be fun.
Oh, that is not going to work.
Probably not, but it's worth a shot. We are experimental, if nothing else.
That is not going to work.
All right, so the vampire dudes, they have the stuff that's in them, and then like it helps them by making them beautiful and young in Transylvanian forever. But it eats all of the iron and nutrients and stuff inside them, so they got to drink some blood.
Right.
Sweet.
But that's only that offshoot of the strain. Like I said, it broke into 2 different groups. The other group would be Homo lupus, which somehow takes on the appearance similar to a dog, but it has no genetic fucking whatever with a dog. It's not a dog. It's a human, but it does have an elongated snout and claws and fucking crazy sharp teeth and stuff like that. It looks, and tall ears, it looks like it has part dog in it. But they broke off. They went their separate ways. Homo lupus decided to be nomadic. They wound up traveling out, so they wound up in the Denmark, Norway, those areas, Viking areas.
So they're the black metal dudes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Fuck yeah, they are. Fuck yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they did their thing for a long time. Very, very alone, nomadic, out by themselves, nobody fucking with them. They lived for quite a while. Until one day this biologist and amateur archaeologist, American dude named Edward Harrell,
Are we ever going to have an actual archaeologist on our show, ever?
Oh, God.
They're all amateur archaeologists. I'm okay with that. I mean, we get good stuff out of them, but I want somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about. Just once.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. not yet. We've got those coming, but not yet.
Okay.
So, aside from Norway and those Viking areas, they also wound up in the Middle East as well. Mesopotamia, Sumer, those types of areas, Iran, Iraq, and yeah, they were pretty adept to environments and stuff. So this dude, Edward Harrow, he goes out, he gets obsessed searching for the roots of agriculture. He travels to Mesopotamia in the Middle East. And what he found there instead was the Homo lupus, evidence of a civilization that's super, super old. So you got to figure Neanderthal and shit, like, that's 40,000 plus years. That's a long time. That's a long-ass time.
It is. You're right.
He winds up actually becoming obsessed with this and winds up actually tracking them down. He finds them, right? It says he eventually caught and dissected a number of specimens and discovered that the creature carried a transferable pathogen in its saliva. So it, much like the Homo vampirus, it's a transferable pathogen as well in that saliva. So
they could give you the thing by doing the thing.
Exactly.
Indeed.
So, along the way, he's the guy who actually dubbed it the lupus strain. And in 1820, it says he was attacked by a male lycanthrope.
Good, he fucking deserved it. He's catching and dissecting these things. What a dick. They're people.
Yeah. So they got his ass. And, then he would spend the next 3 years trying to find a cure for this horrible disease. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But, he fucking never could find the cure and actually wound up later on in 1830. He met Thomas Marilyn, and that's when Marilyn received the head of a male lycanthrope to add to his collection.
Wait, was it his?
No.
Or did he give him one? Okay.
No, I think he gave him one.
He met Marilyn, and then Marilyn chopped his fucking head off.
That would have been way cooler.
Pulls out his samurai sword, and he puts on his fucking blade sunglasses, trench coat, and he's like, "Not today," and he just cuts his head off, and then puts it on a mantle and screams at it for a while, and then fucks it.
It doesn't actually say where like whose it was, but we'll go with that. That would have been way cooler if that was actually Let's say that.
Okay.
So, a third now the same viral strain. It attached itself to the whole group, only split off in two base pairs that were actually wound up being symbiotic as long as it was fed in these humans. But now there was another portion of this group. They were all infected.
Okay.
But there was a portion of the group that got infected in a bad way. And that's what has been dubbed the Wraith virus. Now, Wraith meaning death, just fucking straight up death. Instead of becoming Homo vampirus, they wound up basically being like a Walking Dead sort of creature. It doesn't help them at all. It basically kills them and shuts them down, and it basically was too strong for their body. They cannot replenish it.
Okay, so they couldn't even hope to feed this thing, basically.
Exactly.
To get any benefit whatsoever out of it.
Right. It just fucking killed them.
And that's
completely.
what zombies are. Is unquenchable hunger for anything in their sight.
Exactly. Now, the virus, at this point, the virus has killed the human, but still controls the vessel.
Oh, shit. So
that's what's happening.
Eating dead thing. Holy shit.
Right. It's trying to feed just based on its own fucking natural instinct now, using the vessel to find the food, but it's not intelligent like that on its own because now the vessel's fucking dead.
I was just about to say it's so weird how, and I mean, you know, this is all allegedly, but let's just allege that it's real or whatever for a minute here, and it's so weird how something that is, you know, microscopic or microscopically microscopic that could possibly have its own, and it's not even like a need for survival. It's just I'm hungry. It's not I need to eat so I can live longer, so I can go to the movie that I've really been wanting to see next Friday. It's I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That's
now,
fucking terrifying.
What we know about viruses and things like that now, this is not entirely fucking in the realm of impossibility. There are actually two types of parasite, microscopic parasite, that one that attacks that infects snails and one that infects birds, I think, but they both pretty kind of sort of do the same thing. But the one that infects the ants, that's right.
And then the bird eats the ant. Yeah. And then it infects the bird, but not the same way or something? Like it's a stomach thing then,
Right. The one with the snails does kind of the same thing, but it makes their head swell up.
Yes, you got to see these things, people. Like psychedelically pulsing eye stalks that aren't the thing's eyes anymore. That's the virus that's a zombie.
Yeah. It turns them into a zombie and forces them to go out on a limb and get eaten by the bird and turned back into shit and then fucking...
start it all over again.
So this is not within the realm of impossibility. It's fucking crazy, don't get me wrong. And probably not true, don't get me wrong. But it's not within the realm of impossibility.
Right.
So
that shit is insane. That shit is insane.
Let's just take that I actually just said that. Okay, it's probably not true.
No, I absorbed it and it felt good for a second there. I'm like, thank God, Chris isn't actually completely fucking crazy.
Dude, this is entirely too much.
Because sometimes, Chris, it feels like you might just be maybe a little like too...
I'm not gullible.
No, I didn't say gullible. I was going to say fucking crazy.
I am crazy for sure, but I have to keep some kind of grasp on what the normal people think is reality, so that I can make sure
that we accept you as normal as well.
No, fuck you guys. I'm trying to make sure in my own head that I accept me and that I did my portion in that I'm okay with, and my version of the scientific method on this info before I just believe it. Okay.
I like how you said your version of scientific method. That's good.
I'm making sure I sleep at night.
Chris, you got 20 minutes left.
Oh my God. Okay. So, we're going to put a pin in, and they're actually called homogluteans.
Homogluteans?
The rates, yeah, it's no relation to your ass, but,
I mean, I wasn't going to assume.
It's two T's, though, so I'm assuming it's probably actually gluteans.
I mean, that, if it eats things, yeah, probably.
Right. Okay, well, alright, so we'll go with that. Okay, so there is a huge event that we'll come back to. That's why we're putting a pin in those, because they pop up. But it has been reported, and I'll tell you where the reports come from very shortly, that the wraiths were actually used as kind of a guard dog sort of scenario by the Homo vampirus, because they were the smart ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they wound up actually Homo vampirus when Homo lupus decided to go nomadic and travel and go all over the fucking place. Vampirus for a while went subterranean, and they actually did some traveling as well. They were the ones who wound up in a mountain range as well. I can tell you what fucking mountain they were in, but anyway, they wound up in these fucking mountains and setting up a castle called a city. Not just a castle. They built a city, and it is called the City of Thenis. And Thenis is completely. Oh, the Himalayas is where they are. Where Thenis is. So it's way the fuck up there. Nobody goes up there. You have to be a crazy skillful climber to get anywhere near this thing. And if you even do get anywhere near it, it's very well protected by race.
Vampires, yes.
And vampires, yes. But at one point in its history, now again, this is talking 40,000 plus years, but at some point in the history of the city of Thenis, they opened their gates to humans, but not all humans. They didn't just send out an invitation. They opened their gates to humans that were learned, so scientists and things like that.
Yep. Hashtag not all humans.
Right. So, see, the smart ones are the useful ones. Let's get it right, people.
That's
fucking
right.
be cool.
Their
Stay
blood,
in school.
And then you fed the parasite inside you? I don't get... No.
No, they're not eating them. No.
Oh, well,
see,
that just seems like a waste of smart people then.
Well, they're not using them for that. They're collaborating.
Now, they're going to put out a mixtape. I get it.
Here's the thing. Now, you got these... You have a creature, unlike Homo lupus, that can pass for human. They look human, but they have to fucking feed this virus. Now, the majority of them, because they can adapt, they don't burn up in the sunlight. They are sensitive to UV light, but they don't burn up in it. It doesn't immediately kill them. They have no qualms with God and crosses and wooden stakes and silver and fucking none of that shit. Doesn't affect them. But
is silver a vampire thing? I thought it was a werewolf thing.
It's both.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It burns the skin of vampires, but it'll actually, if the heart is pierced of a werewolf, it'll kill him.
That's right.
Otherwise,
Wolfman Scott's Nards.
Yeah, fuck, I love that movie, dude.
Everyone loves that movie.
Fucking Monster Squad. What actually happened was, because of the fact that they can pass for human, they went subterranean to get a handle on what was going on with them and to, get it under control. At first, they did kill some humans. They mostly fed on animals because they're not fucking bloodthirsty creatures. They're not murderous. They don't have any more.
They don't have a bloodlust, but they need blood to survive.
Exactly. So they decided as a group, as a culture, to not kill and eat humans. We just eat animals. Everything's got blood. Take it, the right way. But now there was a faction within the main group in the city, and they called themselves the Order of Krask. Now, the Order of Krask were the only ones who bucked the system on eating humans, because they figured now they are the dominant species. Fuck humans, I'm going to get it any way I want it. And they left the city as a fucking rogue group.
That's right. Fight the power.
Right. So, why not? Just go on and do your thing. Now,
VWA,
this was an outrage.
Vampires with attitude.
This was, yeah. VWA, baby. Ice blood. Easy B.
Okay, we can sit here and come up with vampire names for everybody in NWA. But we
can
take the last 12. You can take the last 12 minutes finishing off at least vampires before we got to stop.
Okay. All right. All right. To finish vampires real quick, and I'm gonna talk about this guy a little more in part 2, but okay, so the city of Thenis allows some humans to come in and study, because you figure if they never actually have to if they can't blend in with humans, or if they can blend in with humans, then they have the ability to learn just like any other human. With an extended lifespan, they have the ability to learn indefinitely. So the library of the city of Thenis is fucking massive. It's the biggest ever, and they are just like the smartest creatures on the planet, because they've had enough time. They can learn anything. So that's why they allowed learned humans to come in to study at their library.
Okay, so it was more for humanity's sake that they allowed smart humans in.
I think it was a little bit of both. They were picking the brains of the humans for the new stuff. You know?
Okay, for the new stuff, that's right. They had the new hotness.
Right.
And then they had the oldies but goodies.
Exactly.
And then you mix that together and you get, I guess like rap rock. I don't know.
The humans brought mixtapes. The vampires had the vinyl. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta have it on vinyl to get that authentic sound.
Right. And then what comes out of it is Limp Bizkit. So I think we can all learn a lesson from that and say, please, vampires, again. I think it's about time for a Limp Bizkit resurgence. Don't you, Chris?
Where is Fred Durst? What the fuck?
He's in a gutter, that's for sure.
He's chilling on somebody's couch.
Ugh. That piece of garbage. Anyway.
So, okay. Yeah, so... so, there was a mutually beneficial thing going on there. Now... In the meantime, there was, and now flash forward a long time. Now, them letting humans in was way in the future, because I say the future. It wasn't the future like from us, but this was 1836, right around that time when they allowed humans in to study and shit. Just prior to that, there was a Swiss physician named Francis Gerber, who was acclaimed for his writings on anatomical similarities between the great apes and humans. He was searching for a type of what he called the nocturnal hominid. He was looking for the species of human that, nocturnal.
Right.
The night people, better known as vampire. And he was obsessed with this. He wound up making this the rest of his life's work, and he went searching for it for fucking ever. His most interesting findings, it says, were in relation to the infection of Homo sapiens with the hemophage virus and the growth of parasitic organs found naturally occurring in natural-born vampire. So the virus had grafted itself so much that the baby is born with it, and his organs are different because they feed more directly, I guess. They're made for that in a different way.
Like, is it more streamlined, or is it...
Yeah, let's say it like that.
Is it like Vampire fucking 2.0, or is it like Monster Vampire with, uncontrollable... No. Just the more perfect version. Okay.
Right. So this guy, Francis Gerber, his writings, his findings, his work was said to be most likely the precursor to this guy. Now, this is the guy that I'm going to be touching on a little more in part 2, but we're going to end it right here with this guy.
I hope you got his permission to be touching on him, Chris.
Man, he loves it. He actually calls me and tells me he's going to need a sandwich, and that fuzzy glove I have, and some coconut Earl. Woo! Anyway.
And it was, and it was good. It was good.
It is good. He likes it. He pays me handsomely. So, anyway, 1836, right around that time, there is a guy by the name of the cleric Abramo.
Wait,
Pretty.
one more time?
The cleric, he's a cleric, and his name is Abramo.
Abramo. Okay,
Yes.
the cleric Abramo.
The cleric Abramo. Sounds like a pretty commanding, awesome name.
Yes.
Cleric Abramo. Cool fucking guy, man. He shows up as one of the learned to the city of Themis. He was allowed in to study. He pretty much immersed himself in it. Like, it was his thing. He became one of the most trusted humans in all of vampire history. He's the fucking man. So, when the whole shit went down with the Order of Krask, they wound up causing problems, right? Because they were being blatant and dickheads, and they were kind of putting themselves out there, and they didn't like that shit. So, the higher-ups in the city decided to put together a team, headed by none other than the cleric Abramo. He headed up what is basically your first vampire hunter team.
Oh,
now,
shit. Is he Simon Belmont?
Yeah, well, yeah, dude. It can't be the first. It's not the first. Because as long as vampires have been alive, some people have been trying to kill them. But
But have they been officially sanctioned to do so?
Exactly. No, they have not. Unless they were sanctioned by the church, which does not count for the same thing. This is being sanctioned by the highest order of vampires to hunt themselves, to hunt each other.
Indeed.
This is some serious
So
shit.
then this is more... Well, no, Vampire Hunter D was just like, oh, I hate myself, half myself. I gotta take out all these other guys, too.
Right.
Such a whiny bitch, but a good movie.
Yeah, the face in the hand thing. He's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting tool.
So this dude gets hired by, like, the uppity ups of vampirism and says, hey, all these, jackwad vampires that are out there causing trouble and stuff,
right?
Like knocking over people's garbage while they're trying to sleep and making them think that they got raccoons even though they don't.
Fucking feral assholes having sex in the middle of the street and in your quiet little neighborhood at
just
3 in the
making
morning.
more little feral asshole babies right in front of your eyes.
God damn it.
Just, do us a favor. Let's not call it a genocide. Let's call it street sweeping. That's what we'll do. We'll put street sweepers from 9 to 12 on posters outside. And it'll be from Monday to Thursday. You can't park here. Street sweeping.
Fucking quality control.
Indeed.
The defective package. We got to take care of them.
That package isn't too defective if he's making so many more fucking feral babies. You know what I'm saying? So what does Abramo do then? He obviously accepts and then kicks some vampire ass, like Kate Winslet.
Well, I mean, Abramo's not alone. He heads a team composed of a couple other humans and a few vampires as well. Vampire hunters.
And then there's Casey Affleck, and there's the little Asian guy, and then there's Bernie Mac is there too.
Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Fucking the Mac, dude.
It's a pretty good movie. The first one anyway. The second one's and then it just gets down from there. But the first one's okay.
Yeah, I agree. No, I completely agree. The first one, I really dig the concept, and yeah, I wish there were more like that, but not like that. Anyway, because they did that, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, vampires hunting vampires. They're basically like haters, right?
Yeah. It's like back during civil rights when they would have black dudes that would work with the feds and shit like that, and they'd spy on MLK and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, bro, I'm just trying to do a job.
So they're like the vampire versions of Uncle Tom's.
Yeah, that's what we got going on here. Led by a fucking...
A human.
Goddamn. He just sounds like such a badass, dude. I'm just
picturing
somebody so much
like
cooler than Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman.
Like Like he's just like maybe not a badass, but just like a huge dick.
Dude,
like,
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, like
he's all
Spanish
smug and
Inquisition style.
smarmy and shit. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't
exactly.
he takes no shit at all.
None. No.
You cannot explain anything to him. He wants to hear nothing other than your screams of agony. Yes. Yeah, I'm not saying badass like I admire his...
Oh, you're saying sadistic piece of shit badass.
Dude, yeah, he was a force to be reckoned with, for sure. He was, I mean, come on, man. He learned at your house. He studied you at your own house. He probably met and had dinner with your parents. And now he's coming to kill you.
Well, maybe you should have gone to college instead of taking a year off to go around the city of the castle, and doing things that you shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah,
maybe
sucking blood out of raver girls.
Yeah, like maybe playing dice in the back alley. Not such a good idea now.
Give it up. You got to grow up someday. And that, my friends, is where we're going to put the pin for episode part 2.
You love putting pins in things. You ever collect bugs and stuff when you were a kid? And, stab into things?
No, hell no.
Like, if there's a phrase that you say more than anything on this show, it's put a pin in it. Put a pin and touch on it. But still certainly more put a pin.
We're going to touch things that I put pins in?
Mm-hmm. You are certainly one that likes to hint at one thing, go to a completely different, and then revisit the first, only much less enthusiastically than you left it.
Sometimes.
But you know what, Chris? This was cool. I think that we could have just done like a The Dude, like a episode about your boy, right? And then we do an episode about each of the major fucking monsters that we know a bunch of history about, like this. And then, this could have been like a whole February kind of thing.
Yeah, it could have been if I'd have structured it in such a way. Again, it's so much. I have
a feeling that it might still be a whole February kind of thing.
It's hard to know how to structure it properly because it's so much info on so many dude. I mean, this is just that. God, I can't.
Know that we don't have to know everything about everything, right?
No, yes, you're right. I'm really not telling you everything about everything. I'm going through it as fast as possible.
Are you telling me that there was more information that we didn't even hear about vampires?
Well, there's one more Kula Brahmo thing, and then that whole portion of it is done.
Okay, is that for this episode? Because it sounded like you were done.
Well, I was going to be. I mean, I could throw it in real quick.
No, screw that. I want a cliffhanger. People need to come back. And hey, Chris and I decided, or I kind of made the decision for us, because, I mean, when it all comes down to it, it's kind of my decision anyway. Not that Chris has no input, but I mean that's neither here nor there right now.
He knows I'm too far away to punch him. That's what it is.
That's right. That's the only reason I'm as brave as I am. So we did the whole when we do 2-parters, you get 2 episodes a week and shit. Well, really, that was more me just being super enthusiastic, wanting to get episodes out that I thought were good and I wanted people to hear. Now that has put us in a predicament because we are not even caught up yet. So to go ahead and promise you 2 episodes this week would be kind of insane because I have a lot of work to do still on this one. So let's go ahead and say we will see you next week with a part 2 of this awesome Maryland Cryptids Museum episode.
I have exactly the picture for this episode too. I'm about to get it and send it to you.
Need it because I need to work on it.
Yeah,
but I mean, dude, this is really cool. Like, I like hearing the specifics of a supposed real world race of vampires that sounds a hell of a lot like movie vampires, just with stipulations that allow them to not have the severe weaknesses that movie vampires have. So like I'm digging it because there's history and there's actual story to go along with it. This Abramo dude sounds like a real trip. So yeah, man, I cannot wait. I can't wait. I mean, I will wait, but I can't.
You will have no choice, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just told you what I learned this week. Basically, I learned that vampires are the cool ones. That the werewolves aren't actually they are just wolfmen, which
True.
is cool, I guess. But they're the dumb ones. And then they have the little mermaid goblin things that are most likely probably just shaved monkeys attached to half a trout. Then we have the guy himself. The guy himself who's I'm guessing he's a vampire since he's basically immortal. Or he's just a bunch of different dudes that have all decided to share the same name. I don't know. You know? It's weird.
It's a pretty interesting mystery, that is for sure.
But
I'm having fun with it. I really enjoyed.
You know it's not a mystery, Chris?
No.
Fact,
there's a lot of things that are...
The fact that these people here have just listened to another riveting episode of See No, Hear No, Speak No.
There is always that. UFOs, conspiracies, and murders.
Pretty murders. You know what, dude? We've kind of really wanting to do another murder episode. We've been away from murder for so long. It's since our New Year's episode, right?
Oh, it's coming up.
Oh, that was
coming up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We got some good ones, man. We got so much on the list. We got so much. It's hard to get to everything.
Shit, man. I mean, I'm glad this is a two-parter because I got nothing.
Really?
No, fuck no, man. I got murderers for days. It's stuff that's not murderers.
That surprises me a bit.
It's not murderers that I don't have. I need to get more non-murder episodes in. But yeah, my next one's going to be murder. I did conspiracy and fucking UFO, for fuck's sake. I did both the other things. Now it's murder time. But that's going to be in a week or two or three, you know? Because we're finishing this story first because I like it. And the best part, Chris, about your episodes, do you know what they are?
Time for you to sit back and relax a little bit?
Yes,
or
but only half right.
Time for you to give me
shit? Half of... Yes, that's it. Is that I get to give you shit.
That's how you like them so much.
I mean, technically, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a certain power there, you know?
I don't always do my best at taking it, but...
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And countdown. 3, 2, 1. Good night, cat.
Later, kids.
Bye, Luna.
Foulest stenches in the air.